You might be wondering when it's time to hire a marketing manager. Well, this video, I hope, will give you the information that you need to make that decision. Here's the bottom line. Content distribution, copywriting, website adjustments and updates, social media, podcast, YouTube, writing articles for newspapers and magazines. Those are all part of marketing at this point, not even talking about the in-person stuff. It becomes very time consuming. Like for me, I probably distribute 50 pieces of content a week in my business between YouTube videos, YouTube shorts, Instagram Reels, Instagram stories, my personal Facebook page, my business Facebook page, my Facebook group called Construction Selling, the podcast. Like it's gotta be 50 to 60 pieces of content a week. And anybody who's trying to take that on as a busy business owner is going to struggle because 1, you're probably not an expert at it. 2, you probably suck at writing. 3, you probably suck at editing. And that's fine. Understand that you do and be self-aware of it and start to look at hiring a marketing manager. So what is a marketing manager? So for me, I have a couple different people on my team that I consider my holistic marketing manager. They are the people who are responsible for the schedule, the distribution, the editing, the posting, the copywriting, all of it. So they edit and distribute my YouTube videos. They edit and distribute my podcast. They edit and distribute my memes and my posts on Instagram, creating audiograms for the podcast. So it's all those little pieces that make a succinct and total marketing strategy. So the first step is finding somebody who has the skill set. For me, I'm a big proponent of stay-at-home moms that are used to be in the working environment, have a good skill set for this. Almost everybody I've hired over the last couple of years is a stay-at-home mom because I don't need a full-time person. When you're starting, you probably don't need a full-time person either. But let's just say you're trying to find a full-time person. Making a post on social media, doing your job description, looking at outsourcing sites like Fiverr and Upwork, those are all great places to start. But the first thing is you need to figure out what they're doing for you. You can't just say, oh, I'm hiring somebody to be my marketing manager and they're gonna tell me what to do. Realistically, you can't afford an expert like that right off the bat, and they're gonna come in with their experience and perspective and not know exactly how to tell your story. So make a list of everything that you want that marketing person to do, from the posting schedule to where, to the different platforms, to the editing, whatever it is you're looking for, because you want to make sure that person has a proper understanding of what they're signing up for when they join your team. What are you going to pay this person? Realistically, in my opinion, you're going to be 40 to 50 grand a year for a full-time person. Again, this is a marketing manager. They are managing your marketing, not as much as creating the whole game plan. If you want to hire a chief marketing officer, you're probably 70, 80 grand a year for somebody who's bringing all the ideas and telling you everything you're going to do and then also ultimately getting results. Because look, if a marketing manager or marketing director comes in and is able to properly execute in creating and distributing a game plan, they're going to be worth their weight. They're going to be worth the cost to have them. But that should be realistically 40 to 50 grand if you're hiring that first person who's just managing the distribution and managing the editing, maybe not so much creating the game plan. When is the right time to go through all this and figure it out? Ultimately, here's been my mindset around hiring. Once I become too busy doing the job to do the work that got me busy to do the job, I hire somebody to do that work. I have 70 different coaching clients right now. Once I got so busy coaching that I couldn't spend the time on the content and the marketing strategy, I hire people to do that part of it because that's what got me busy. Here's a big mistake people make. They get slow, they put a bunch of effort into marketing and networking and advertising, they get busy, and then they stop doing that work, and then when that work runs out, they're slow again. It's that wicked kind of roller coaster effect when you're not being consistent in the effort. So when you get too busy doing the job to do the work that got you busy, because that could be a salesperson, it could be a marketing manager, it could be a lot of different positions within your company, but when you get too busy doing the work, go have somebody else do that other part of the process for you. So what does that look like when you onboard them? First, you want to get some of their work, better understand what their capacity is. I've always been a big proponent of a homework assignment. So when I've hired my marketing managers, I gave them a raw podcast episode, a raw YouTube video shoot, a picture that I wanted them to write copy for. I said, hey, I want you to edit this, manage this, copyright for this. So I gave them a homework assignment to see what am I starting with? Because I can train somebody up a little bit, but I don't want to spend a bunch of time helping them get where I need them to be. So the homework assignment, then onboard them with a proper onboarding process, allow them to understand what are you expecting of them, in what time frame, and how often. And then ultimately doing your weekly check-ins with them. I would highly suggest meet with that person once a week, and let's look at the analytics, let's look at the insights, let's look at the engagement, and let's work on making it better. Don't just hire that person and say, this is all on you now. I expect results. Like, you can do that. I'm just gonna be honest, like, it's gonna be very difficult for you to get the results you're looking for from that person, because it's hard to manage somebody that kind of hands-off-ish, at least early on, especially with your first hire, because you don't know what you're looking for and expect, and they don't really know what you're looking for and expect, and that can create some friction in your company. So ultimately, if you are overwhelmed by the amount of content, the amount of engagement that you're trying to put out right now, and it's distracting you, or you can't do it because of how busy you are, it is probably the right time to hire a marketing manager. Because if you have any sizable average project size, that 40 to 50 grand a year will easily have a return on investment for you and your business as your entire online presence and brand grows. Trust me, I've done this. I'm across all platforms between the Big Stuff Podcast, YouTube, Facebook group, Instagram stories, everything. It works. It will help you grow. And I promise you it'll be worth the investment if you follow some of the tips that you just saw in this video. I'm Mike Claudio, owner of WinRate Consulting, and I hope you win fast and win often.